In the flesh.
Come on.
Any day now.
We're live already.
I don't know what's happening, guys. This is new to me. Thanks, LJ. I appreciate it. LJ Pax is like the coolest kid you'll ever and a chain. Future rapper.
LJ. WBP plus radio plus logo plus circle.
Hey, Rita.
D-Mind Matters 3 photo.
And 5, 4, 3.
DM podcast
2,
logo 1.
Welcome, everybody. It is the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis. And as you can see, we are in place with Miss Jasmine Janelle. We're going to join you guys on the live right now. We appreciate you guys tuning in. So if you're tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, we welcome you guys in. It is Thursday. This is another edition of the Reach Podcast Show. And shouts out to everybody that is on Instagram, whether you're on her Instagram or my Instagram. We thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and taking your time out for this show. I want to say first, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I can tell you right now, we're going to be a little silly today because this young lady right here is she's just all over the place.
Always. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a
absolutely
crazy lady.
But no, we're about to get into your business. We're about to find out what's up with Miss Jasmine Janelle. But before we get into that, as you know, we definitely got to follow the order of the show. And the first thing I like to do, as I said, is, again, welcome everybody that has tuned in. Again, Facebook land, YouTube land, and also on Instagram. We thank you. But before we go into the show and get into her business, we have to say shouts out to all of our show sponsors. So I thank everybody for what you guys have been doing to keep this show going and running and basically supporting everything that we do. And gonna tune into some of the comments that we got real quick. So good morning, Jay. What's going on? I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. What's up, baby? And then the show sponsor part about it is all of the businesses that have been connected to the Reach Podcast Show. I thank you guys for giving this show a platform in your particular spaces and also allowing us to keep going. The first sponsorship I definitely like to talk about is Dad Chronicles. That is my 501c3. And this show is powered by Dad Chronicles. And we are definitely about reaching the community, which our tagline is, we're telling the stories of the community and those people behind the stories. And again, today, we have another story that we're trying to tell and make sure that you guys understand what her mission is. Also, like to give a huge shout out to my guy and my people over at WBP Radio. And that's my man, DJ Tibbs. This is a radio station out of Atlanta. He has come to Houston and is trying to, I guess, just push the initiative of WBP Radio. That is We Break Purpose Radio, positive hip hop and rap music. And basically, the idea behind that is making sure that we are instilling some good vibes and good songs and good sounds into our airwaves, into our earwaves, because unconsciously we tend to succumb to some of the things that we hear. And we won't get into that whole thing, but go to your Apple Store, go to your Play Store, download the app, listen to it for a while and give them a survey and tell them what you think about it, because they are definitely trying to get that radio station going here in Houston and opening a hub out here. Also, got to give a huge shout out to my mans here at the Black Store. This is where we are. And as you can see, we have a lovely mural behind that. Us.
By me.
By who?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there is a huge significance behind this place, behind this store, behind this mural, and why she insisted on us being here today. So we'll hear about that here in just a moment. But big shouts out to my man Randy and my man Lloyd. Lloyd is in the building, so I don't know if he hearing me right now, but big shouts out. Oh yeah, that's right. Shouts out to the Black Store and all the things that they're doing over here in the community. And we appreciate everything that they're doing, and even more so, much more gratitude for them guys, because I don't even want to give it away. It's huge for Miss Jasmine Janelle, and I'll let her talk about that. Them. Yeah, absolutely. And so, you want to get over here if you've never been to the Black Store. It's 8616 Cullen Boulevard, right here in the heart of Sunnyside, South Park. come and check them out. And it's a beauty shop or beauty supply. I always say beauty shop, beauty supply experience. The customer service is awesome and it's great over here. So you definitely want to come in here. And the thing that I like is that if they don't have something that you're looking for, all you got to do is tell them, and they're going to do everything they can to get those items right here in the store. So big shouts out to the Black Store. Another company, shouts out to my fam, and it is Honey Beyond Studio. If you guys are looking for a space where you can have a party, if you're looking to have a baby shower, wedding reception, anything that you want, shouts out to my fam. They own Honey Beyond Studios, and it is a blank canvas. It is an event space where you can go and put together whatever type of party that you're looking to have. They will definitely cater to your needs and make your vision come to life. So huge shout out to Honey Beyond Studio. Let them know the Reach Podcast Show sent you, whether you come into the Black Store, whether you go to Honey Beyond, let them know that I sent you, and I'll pull up their logo here really quick. This is the place you want to be, right in the heart of Missouri City, 1667 Cartwright Road. And for those who know, it's right on the corner of what? 2234 and Cartwright Road. So go and check out Honey Beyond Studios, and they will take care of you and all the needs that you have for bringing your vision together. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. So those are a few of the places that I wanted to announce, and we'll definitely cover some more of our sponsors later on in the show. So let's go back to these comments. Let's see who's tapping in this morning. I want to say again, thank you for everybody. Man, got a lot of people shouting out. Oh, cuz just Miss Cherie, that's my cousin with Honey Beyond Studio. I'm glad you were able to catch the shout out. So we appreciate everything that you guys are doing over there. And we are looking to send as many people your way as we can. Let me take the banner down. So Cherie Bedford, that is my cousin I was just speaking on. She is the owner over there. What's up to Jay again? My cousin Charlie, we appreciate you tuning in. Cousin Am, my boy Vic, what's up, bro? Appreciate you. And so we're gonna get into your business now, man. So, like I said, we have Miss Jasmine Janelle. She's doing some wonderful things, and I don't even know how I want to approach it right now, but we just gonna get going. We're gonna talk about it. But welcome to the show. I'll start there. Welcome to the show. Say what's up to everybody in all these spaces, and then we'll get into it.
Hey, y'all. Especially to my people. Hey, on my Instagram live, I never go live like ever. I think it's just so weird. I feel so robotic. So, hey to everyone who's tapping in. Make sure to share this because a lot of you guys ask a lot of questions in my inbox that I don't answer because I don't have the time. So today is the day to where you can get all up in my business, all up in my mix, and I will likely answer the question.
Absolutely.
So here we go.
Absolutely. And so, it's funny. I put up, we've been doing a lot of work, here over this last week. You've been doing a lot of work in the space that I'm speaking on. I guess, I don't know how long, for the last couple months over at Brown Sugar. Been doing a lot of stuff over there.
A lot.
Okay. And we'll get to that part here in a minute. But Miss Jasmine Janelle and I put up Painter Extraordinaire because you are just that, and you'll get to talking about how fast you got into this. But the first thing is, who is Jasmine? Let's talk about who Jasmine Janelle is without the painter tag behind you. Let's go back a little bit and tell us where you come from, how you got started. Are you from here?
I am. So I'm Jasmine Janelle. That is who I am. I go by my first and middle name because that is my authentic self. That's who I've always been. I don't know how to be anything else but that. But Jasmine Janelle has always been an artist. For those who don't know me, I've been doodling and drawing and creatively expressing myself in many ways since as long as I can remember, maybe 4 or 5,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always been a little artist. I am living my childhood dream. Anybody in my family knows, I wanted to be an artist when I grew up. But at that time in my life, that wasn't something realistic. It was always no, you go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, and you do something real. You do something real that you can sustain. You do something real that's worthwhile, that looks good on paper, that sounds good. And that was the, American dream, I guess.
Right.
But that wasn't my journey. That wasn't the path that I was supposed to take at this time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel like my purpose was to create. in some sort of way. Didn't know how upfront, but it just happened. And I was so sure about this part of my life. I took a leap of faith from corporate America, and voila, magic. Here we are.
If you don't mind me asking, what did you do in corporate America?
Oh, I was in community health and psych. So
Okay.
I was a psychiatric specialist. I worked in a psychiatric institution in intake. Worked in the ER and healthcare. So I was in a very fast-paced environment working.
That's why you can't sit still. Okay, you used to it.
I'm used to it. I'm used to being on the go. I'm used to being a busybody, working 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, just always on the go, multitasking. So I felt like that kind of groomed me for this part, to where doing multiple things at one time, that's when you know you're getting it done. For some people, they're like, you're crazy. You don't ever sleep. And I'm like, what sleep? I used to work 20 hours in the ER. Like, I can do this. I'm built for this.
Okay. And you don't, well, I think everybody does have those moments when you get burnt out. And even before we get to the painting side of it, back in corporate America, what would you tell yourself when you have those long days? What did you do to just keep the fire alive, to keep going?
I drank coffee and I drew on things. Literally. Anyone who used to work with me in an ER setting or even in an office setting, I was known for drawing on boards, chalkboards. Most importantly, when I was working at a psychiatric hospital, we had these huge chalkboards, like 30, 40-foot chalkboards that patients can go and draw on. Because when you're in a psychiatric institution, there's a lot going on mentally. You have doctors and you have all of these things going on, and these people are away from home. They're in a place that they're not comfortable with. So it was almost like art therapy for them. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these people wouldn't communicate with you. They wouldn't communicate with me until I started drawing on the chalkboard.
Really?
For me, it was out of boredom. I was just doing what I like to do.
Yeah.
And there are some people that society would deem as dangerous or crazy or whatever the stigmas are, that are brilliant artists. Like, don't have to even use a reference picture. Like, these people were brilliant.
Pull it out the mind.
Yes, and they wouldn't open up until we met at that chalkboard. And that's when I knew, like, this is purpose. Like, you can connect with people and you can impact people. You can pray with people via art. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, this is bigger than me. And I just kind of, like, my spirit was like being pulled to do this continuously, not just as a hobby. This was not a hidden gift that I would die with. This is something that I needed to use to serve and, you know, walk in my purpose. And when I took that leap of faith, everything came full circle.
That's what's up. So can you remember the day or can you remember the incident? What made you say, okay, I'm done with this corporate America thing and I'm going to start living out my dream or my passion? Or how would you describe it? You're going to live out your what? How would you describe that?
My wildest dreams.
Your wildest dreams. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you remember that moment?
I can.
Tell us about it.
It was a time for like maybe 5 months that I was working 12-hour shifts at work. I would get off, sleep 2 hours, and go paint all day. And then take a nap for 2 or 3 hours and then go to work and do it all over again. And I was doing this repetitiously because I was getting more requests. And I'm like, oh my God, I think people like my work.
Okay.
So I was still working a job.
So you even clicked, you was already getting requests.
Yeah, I was doing both. I was working a full-time job and I was also painting full-time. At that point, painting full-time. But my orders were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, okay, I have to start taking off of work to paint more. Yeah. And then it got to the point where it's like, what's the point of going to work for the next 3 days? Then I ran out of PTO and was like, well, I'm going to go on vacation. Right. So I went on vacation, but really my vacation was a really big project I had. And I never went back to work. Wow. And it's been 2.5, 3 years now. Okay. Haven't been back to work.
So the demand is what pushed you over the edge and just made you say, hey, I can do this and I'm going to do this.
The demand and the impact.
Gotcha.
It was me realizing that I can impact people through my art and I don't have to draw pictures of angels and doves to prove a point. Like, it's a matter of just do what you're supposed to do. Right. And be available to me and I'll do the rest. And I feel like when I made myself available, like, okay, God, this is my gift. I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to take this leap of faith, but don't fail me. And don't take your time like you normally do. Like,
you was making your demands.
I ain't trying to rush you or nothing, but I don't really have a whole lot of time to figure this out. So I took a leap of faith. And
this is cuz, just to give you a quick pause, over at Honey Beyond, she says she loving your work. Hey, she's down to come paint something for y'all, cuz.
Thank you. But I just took the leap of faith, and I gave myself 3 months. I said, okay, God, I'm giving you an ultimatum. I'm going to take this little leap of faith you're telling me to take. But you got 3 months to show up.
Yeah.
And don't have me out here looking crazy.
You held them accountable, like this word said.
Yes.
Yeah, you can make those demands.
Accountable.
Absolutely.
So I was like, I'm going to give you 3 months. And,
Yeah.
2.5 years
and
later,
it's okay.
Here we are.
Absolutely. So backing it up a little bit, right? Because, I like to know who taught you how to paint, what classes you took, what institution you went to get to this point. What's the story on what made you start painting? What actually got you to even feel like putting the paint to the canvas?
I was depressed.
Paintbrush to the canvas.
I was extremely depressed. I was terribly depressed. I was dealing with severe anxiety. I was on depression meds, anxiety meds. I was suffering with PTSD from trauma.
Wow.
I was working in an ER where I was seeing children suffer with all types of trauma that children just shouldn't suffer with in any lifetime. So that just kind of threw me over the edge, and I was in this really, really, really dark space to where I just isolated from everyone. I isolated from my family. I was in a terrible relationship. Everything around me just seemed to just go dark.
Wow.
And I couldn't find any relief. And I just remember that the only time, and I'm sorry if this is a trigger for some of you people, but I like to be very transparent because I'm not self-made.
Right.
In this time of my depression and my anxiety and my PTSD, when it seemed like the meds weren't working, the prayer wasn't working, and I grew up in church, so they tell you pray about it, and that's supposed to fix everything.
Pray and be still.
Yeah, and when you pray about it and nothing is happening, it makes you question your faith. Like, how can a God exist and you allow me to go through this and I haven't even done anything to say? Just all these things, you get angry.
Yeah.
And I realized the only time that I was not suicidal is when I was drawing.
Wow.
And then I realized, like, okay, we might be on to something, because this is a new coping mechanism. I was in extensive therapy. Therapy wasn't working. I was ready to fight every time I left therapy. And then I started painting, and I was like, I don't really know how to paint, but I'm going to teach myself to paint because I enjoy watching other people paint. I grew up on Bob Ross, which is a painter. And I'm like, let me try to learn to paint. And then in a year, I taught myself to paint because I was painting every day.
Wow.
Every single day. Never missed a day. And I realized, maybe I don't need the meds. So I slowly start weaning myself off of medications, slowly start weaning myself off of these different things. And I found that I was finding my healing by way of my gift that I already had. You never know how your gift is going to show up for you until you need it most.
Yeah.
That's just the cold, hard truth. I was depressed. I was batshit crazy at the time, and I started painting, and then I felt better. So that's
what's up. I mean, and a lot of people, man, you're touching on so many different things. And it's funny you mentioned the meds because, about the Mind Matters podcast show. Shouts out to my co-hosts, Dr. P and David. We're actually at episode 20 today, and we're ending season 1, and we're talking about meds. So we're going to kind of talk about that this evening. So you guys tune into that at 6:30. But the idea of people not really realizing how you can manifest certain things, and the painting became your relief. And I encourage everybody to try to find a holistic way. I mean, of course, there's certain circumstances where it's so extreme you need the meds to kind of come down a little bit, or to begin your journey to finding something that you can use as a coping mechanism outside of the meds. But I'm glad, painting like saved your life, I guess, right?
Certainly. That's actually what I tell people. Okay. They're asking me about my art, and I'm like, I didn't do this because it was cool. I didn't do it because I just wanted to see how it worked. Like, it was all I had.
Yeah.
I had no other option. I was backed into a corner, and I was like, I don't want to be one of those people that, you post on the internet all of these things, nobody responds, and then all of a sudden one day I just take myself out. I'm like, no, like, I have purpose on my life. I just need to figure out how to get out of this space.
Yeah.
And literally it was so peace. It just gave me so much peace and so much clarity to where people don't realize when you suffer with mental health issues, or you know someone suffering with mental health issues, don't tell them just pray about it.
Yeah.
Because one thing about mental health and having a mental health crisis is it takes away your ability to focus. In order to focus, in order to pray, you have to focus. Prayer is a form of meditation. If you can't focus, you can't meditate. So they have to find focus, either a holistic way, whether it's meds or a hobby, something to where in that moment you can focus. Then you have to simultaneously start praying while you're focusing, writing notes while you're focusing, because these things have to happen at the same time. And that's what they don't tell you in therapy. That's what they don't tell you when you see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They just listen and say,
Man, you dropping jewels this morning. Okay.
That's what I was created for.
Man, shout out to my man Dex. And that's your boy Dexter Powell. He says painting has definitely been his therapy. I know you know who that is.
Yes.
What's up, Dex? We appreciate you tuning in, man. And he's dead serious. I've been by and seen some of his paintings. So to make the connection, you know, so you were going through a crisis. You started painting. You realized that was gonna basically help your soul, so to speak. And you were working, and you started painting, and you started getting a larger request, and you realized this is what you're gonna do.
Correct.
So just fast forward. How long did it take for this demand of you and your painting to come full circle, would you say? And it's already short enough because you've only been painting for how long now?
Like 3 years.
That is crazy. For only 3 years. And we just at the tip of the story of everything that we want to get out today. But how long did it take for that demand to come over you?
6 months,
Wow.
about 6 months or so.
What were you doing in that 6 months to get to that part?
Just painting nonstop. I
Consistency.
mean, literally just painting nonstop to the point where I feel like people don't support you until you give them something to support. And this has nothing to do with for personal reasons or trending reasons. It's society. It's human nature. When you look on TV and you're listening to the radio, you have commercials, you have advertisement, because people need to give you a reason to support them. So whether it's, well, our detergent smells better, or you get more washes, they find their strong point and then they promote that. So for me, I found my strong point, which is my strong point is not only painting, but it's connecting with people by way of my painting. So I promoted that. And when it's authentic, you have a very when it's authentic, you'll realize that the people that come and find you or that you'll be in demand for, it's an organic situation. You don't have to buy followers. You don't have to pay people to support you.
Yeah.
It's organic and they see the real. One thing I know about people, they know what's real.
Yeah.
They know if you're putting on, they know if you're just capping for the internet. Like, people know the difference between someone who's authentic and passionate and someone who's just doing it for show.
What they call it now, clout chasing. You know, they know the difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So fast forward so I can make sure we get what we need to talk about in here. So again, we are here at the Black Store. And you guys, if you've been following me, you know all about the Black Store. Shout out to them again for creating the poetry lane for me. Shouts out to my cousin for them keeping it going. But the Black Store also has a unique space in your heart and in your painting world space. So let's talk about that, and let's talk about this mural that's behind us. You know, how did all that happen?
So there was this point in time where I took this leap of faith, right? And this is the craziest part of the whole story.
Right.
When I took this
is why we had to do it here.
Couldn't do it anywhere else but here, because people don't realize is the Black Store is where it started. So when I took this leap of faith and I basically threatened God and said, you got 3 months. You got 3 months to let me know that this is what you want me to do, or I'm going back to corporate America or whatever. So when I took that leap of faith, my biggest issue was I didn't have anywhere to paint these big pictures. At one point I was staying in a high rise, but it was so small, I had outgrown that. So I didn't renew my lease. And at this point I was painting like in my grandma's backyard. Like to this day, there's still paint all over the walls. I was painting in my grandma's backyard.
I'm sure she's loving it.
I mean, yeah, but there was paint. There was paint all over my grandma's backyard. That's the only place I had to paint. But I told myself I wouldn't use that as an excuse to give up or stop painting.
Yeah.
So I wrote down this list of things that I needed. And I was like, okay, you got to be consistent. You got to be motivated. You got to be a better painter. I wrote down all of these things that I felt like I needed to do to be a successful artist that I was going to be, or thought I was going to be. And the Black Store was here, and of course I would come by because I knew Lloyd. Lloyd and I grew up together. Shout out to Lloyd. And I was just telling, he was like, man, I see everything you're doing. You're painting, I'm proud of you. You really doing your thing. It's gonna be a matter of time before you be all over the city. Me being me, look, I'm a good artist, but I ain't that good of a damn artist yet. Like,
killing the dream.
Just relax, okay? Like, I can do this, but I'm not like these other artists.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have anywhere to create my big pieces. And he was like, well, we got a space in the back. It's just an old dingy room. It's small, but I mean, if you ever want to use it, then cool. I see the room, y'all. It's about this big. Like, it's about this big. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, but this is a start, because if you can do bigger pieces, you charge a little bit more for bigger pieces, and then you basically reinvest everything you make from the bigger pieces until you can work up and get you a workspace. So that was the game plan. I followed that game plan. I'm like, I'm giving myself 6 months. I gave myself 6 months to work out of this little tiny room to maybe get a slightly bigger tiny room. Who would have known?
But hold on, this is the important part for me. There's so many people watching you and so many people that's going to watch. I like for you to repeat that again, because that's the part that this up and coming artist that you're speaking to, that you don't even know you're talking to, is going to miss. What was that game plan again, if you don't mind?
What did
the
I
tiny
say?
room.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I was working out of this tiny room, and my plan was to maximize my work in this tiny room until I can get a bigger tiny room, because I didn't believe in myself enough to pray for anything really big. I just like, if you can just give me this, I'll be grateful, and I'll use this to do whatever you'll have me to do. And my 6-month plan came to pass in 2 months. In 2 months, I had outgrown this little tiny room at the back of the Black Store
to get a bigger tiny room.
That bigger tiny room went from this 120 square foot warehouse that they had in the back of the Black Store to a 1,600 square foot warehouse. So I went from the kitchen, creating in the kitchen, to creating in the backyard in the heat of the day, bit up by fire ants. It's still on my Instagram today. To creating in a very small space, because they believed in me and they gave me an opportunity. And I asked, like, why would you all allow me to use this space for dirt cheap? And they like, we believed in you. Like, they believed in me more than I believed in me. They saw something in me that I was trying to see in me. And that alone was just that was just like a powerful moment, to where I felt like I can't let them down. Yeah. People are seeing something in me that I didn't even believe really existed. So here at the Black Store is really where I was able to really find my way, to where I was really able to understand, like, I think I can do this. Yeah. And on the comments here, Shawan Stroman, I got a shout out, because she was my first customer.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know that she was my first customer. And so many people have, jumped on to support me along the way, but it was a lot of people who saw that potential in me before I did, who trusted me and said, look, I trust you, do your thing. Yeah. And I created, her order was the first big order that I created here at the Black Store. So again, I appreciate you guys so much for the support and for believing in me long enough for me to start believing in me. Yeah. And this mural behind us, this was my first big mural. I'm going to slide the camera a little bit. This was technically my first ever mural here at the Black Store.
And it is wide. We're going to slide this camera too as well. Like, it's amazing.
This is my first
mural. I don't move a camera like that, but we want you guys to see.
I had never painted a mural a day in my life, but in my heart, I was like, I could do this. I can create this mural. And again, they gave me an opportunity because they believed in my work.
Come back over here. Talk to these people.
Once I did this mural, it was only up from there, because then all of the people who were following me were like, oh, I didn't know you did big work. And I'm like, I didn't either.
The thing that I she said, I didn't either. I feel like you were in that big space and you felt the need to create this big work is one of your things. So talk about this painting. What inspired it? What do you call it, if it has a name? And what made this be the thing that you did over here at the Black Store?
They had this vision to where it was like Black royalty. And that's something that they believe in very heavily here at the Black Store. And not only bringing the community together, but also tying in the education and the history behind us as a people and culture and things like that. So when they asked for the mural, I'm like, say no more. I got the vision. And they were like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know yet. This going to be art.
Yeah.
So basically, I showed up one day and was like, boom, I got it. And this is the vision that came to mind.
Okay.
I'd never planned it. This is just the vision that came to mind. And again, they believed in me enough to say, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you a chance pretty much to prove yourself.
That's what's up.
And I think I did it for probably like $300. Got here, did it. Took me 3-4 days. I didn't even have equipment yet. I went and bought all these little tiny cans of paint and was like, I'm going to show y'all what I can do. And boom. Mind you, when I did this, I had only been painting for a year.
Wow.
When I did this mural here at the Black Store. So again, this is just kind of like my first creative fingerprint here in Houston and my whole art career. Thank you again.
This is what I would like people to do, because the Black Store, these are my boys, love this space. And then now you also have a reason. If you want to support Jasmine Janelle and you want to see this painting in person, I encourage people to come over here, take a picture, and you can post it on Instagram and tag her name that you see right now. I'd like to see what people are doing and what they're saying and what you think about this painting, because it is absolutely magnificent. What you pointing at?
G Maddox.
Oh, yeah.
Snyder.
What's up, Snyder? What's up, big dog? Another amazing painter. He's been on my show, so, go check his story out on YouTube. G Maddox, Snyder George. He's just showing support on Instagram. But yeah, so if you guys haven't been to the Black Store, or if you've been to the Black Store, next time you come over, now you know what this mural is about. You know who painted it. Take a picture. We know we always posting stuff, and I encourage you to tag Miss Jasmine Janelle _collection, and notice the spelling. It's not like, you got to spice it up a little bit. You did a little something different. So just tag Jasmine Janelle _collection, and, just start interacting with her. And you let me know later on if you're getting a whole lot of people doing that. But, so you've been here at the Black Store. You decided to paint this mural, and were you starting to feel like you could do this? And, how much longer after that did you really get the full confidence, like, this is what I'm gonna do?
I mean, I think it was like every project I would like laugh.
Consistent
Every
growth.
time I did another project, I would laugh like, oh my God.
I'm dope.
No. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And eventually these people are going to realize I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and that I'm not a professional artist. Because in my mind, a professional artist was someone who was doing these big giant works, and they were like these rich, successful people with exhibitions. And I wasn't that. So I still didn't really have the confidence to call myself, yes, I'm a full-time professional artist. Like I had completely, I don't know. I just was like, I mean, I can do a little something, and you'll like it.
Yeah.
I hope you will like it. Maybe, not sure. So I was not confident in myself in my first year as an artist, but I took every single project.
Right.
And I walked into every single project saying, Lord, this is not the time for you to go quiet on me.
Yeah.
Do whatever you did for me last time to make me create that, so I can redo it this time.
Yeah.
For these people. And it just kept happening, and it's still happening. And when I do these big works of art, I still stand back like, oh my God, I did that. We're
going to put up a couple of things. And as you guys know, it is the Jasmine Janelle collection. So talk about this little piece right here. She say, I guess it has a special place because, it looks like you're somewhere at an exhibit or displaying your art. So you have to talk about it, ma'am.
I can't.
You can't? Oh, okay. Well,
I can't talk about that one.
We will respect that. And we're going to also talk about some of the things that you do now. We'll put this one up.
Okay.
Are you able to talk about this?
Yes, I can talk about that one.
So you guys, of course, also in the comments, put up your comments and tell her what you think about it. But this seems to be the large canvas work, oversized canvas work.
Yeah, my big babies, my loves, my hearts. So those are my big babies. Those are my big epoxy custom canvases. And if you've ever seen my page, you know that my big epoxy canvases are crazy. They're huge. Like they span up from 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot, 16 foot, 18 foot. Like there's no size limitation on these canvases. And I love. I have totally fallen in love with doing huge work, with doing big work. I mean, because my whole one thing that I tell people when they ask me about my art, I always say it's bigger than me. And originally that started out from my testimony saying that this is bigger than you. That space that I was in was bigger than me. It was not about me at that moment. It was about taking me to a place that I was supposed to be that I didn't understand. So it was bigger than me. Everything that I've done is like, you don't understand it now, but this is bigger than you. So one day I was like, I'm gonna do a canvas that's bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I never stopped doing canvases bigger than me.
Wow.
And now I build them, I customize them, all kinds of crushed glass and epoxy and marble stones and whatever you can think about in these big, huge canvases. And they're custom. You can't buy this at the store.
Can't find this nowhere else.
No.
And then everything you do is a one-time customized for that particular client.
You'll never get it again.
Wow.
Because I can't do it again, even if I tried.
Even if you tried.
Can't do it.
That's amazing. We'll go to this next one. These are the ones that catch my eye. And these are when you're in someone's home.
You guys can't see this.
They got to get on YouTube.
How do I flip the camera? Okay.
Right there. Let's flip it around here.
It's flipped.
Oh, it's already ready. Yeah. Okay, good.
So they can see what we're talking about here.
So these are, what do you call it? The custom accent walls, right?
Yeah, my oversized accent walls.
Oversized accent walls. And you're in people's home. You're bringing in scaffolds. You're building the scaffold yourself. You don't have a team of people doing all this. You are doing all of this yourself to be able to get high up on the wall. Yeah. So what is the preparation like for these projects?
Oh, I mean, it depends. I mean, for one, we have consultations. We got to do measurements. We got to have a lot of paint.
The paint is gone now. Put that back.
I have to make sure that I have a good strategic plan for getting up on these walls. I have to have proper safety equipment. I have to have a lot of things to make these projects work. The logistics behind the process, behind these big
processes,
progress. The logistics behind these huge projects and these big walls is actually more tedious than actually painting the wall. And people don't realize, they're like, oh, the wall is this size. I'm like, yeah, but it's the equipment. It's the equipment and the logistics behind it. It is the preparation and the cleanup for these projects that is more heavyweight than the actual painting itself. So, I mean, I love it. It's all about getting the vision out there. And when you're a visionary, it's kind of like get it by any means. Get it by any means. Plus, a lot of artists, they don't do huge work like that. Artists who do huge work like that, a lot of times they're muralists. They specialize in outdoor work on buildings. For me, it's like I want that same vibe, but in a house, because we have houses that have bigger walls than some buildings and businesses. So somebody has to paint them. Who better than me?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So you talk about the preparation. I don't know if you want to speak on it a little bit, or just encourage your consultations, or both. What does it take? Is that something you want to speak on or able to speak on?
It takes a DM. First of all, you gotta submit your inquiry and say, hey,
Let's put that back up so I got these walls. Know how to get in touch with you.
I got these walls at my house that are huge and I want them painted. And then I'll say, okay, well, send me a picture, send a video, let's set up a face-to-face consultation. Then we go from there. From there, it allows me to see the space, feel the space, get to know you and get to know your home, get to know what you like or you think you like, or are you giving me creative control? Then we have to figure out, okay, how are we going to get in here and do this? What is the time frame? So it's a lot of red tape that we have to go through to make these projects work. And Instagram and Facebook, they just see the after effects of, oh, it's a nice project, but they don't see the beforehand
those quick 10-second videos you put up and then it's done. It's a lot in between on that.
It's a lot, guys. If I've ever painted at your home, it's a lot. But again, it's like, it's a part of the process. And being an artist, you learn that whether a big project or whether a small project, you give it the same amount of energy and love. But these big projects, there are kind of like our prized possessions because there's so much that goes into them, and you got to have the end result vision in your head to be able to get through these huge projects. It's not something that just like a small work of art. Like it's a lot of logistics involved, especially for me because I'm working by myself. You know, I don't have a team.
Yeah.
My team is me and my imaginary friends.
Not imaginary friends.
Yeah, when I'm
that's
talking to
a
people,
real
I
thing.
say we often. I always say we're gonna come on this day. And they're like,
who's we?
Who's we? And I'm like, oh, me and my friends. And then I show up by myself, and they're like,
where are your people?
Where's your help? I'm like, here we are.
There they go. They right there in the head.
Here we are.
I can see that, and I can understand that, and that's amazing. So now I'm going to pick on you a little bit, right? Because, you know, I asked this in a private setting, but that I find this to be the case with a lot of painters or just a lot of artists, no matter what the case may be. You guys do all of this amazing work, and when you're done, it's like when you're done, you don't hold any attachment to it.
No.
How is that possible? What's that all about? Explain that part for you. I know you're not speaking for everybody, but as it pertains to you.
You know, before I say this, let me just say, I don't know if that's normal or not. Because
and not to take anything away for any painting she's done in anybody's home.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's normal or not because I'm still working on connecting with other artists. I just got to the point where I really identify as, hey, I am a professional artist with X amount of years worth of experience. I kind of shied away from connecting with other artists for a long time because I had already done over 100 and something works all over, and I still was not confident enough to be in a space with other artists.
Listen, this is what I was told. You're a professional as soon as you get paid for your first gig, whether it's $1, $2, that makes you a professional.
That's just a business. That's just a business.
You are
mentality.
Professional.
But as an artist,
by definition.
No, but as an artist, like we and I can't speak for all artists because for some artists, they just say, oh, I just like to doodle and draw. For some artists, it's just a hobby. But there are some of us who are truly created to do this, like on a bigger, more impactful scale.
Like you.
Maybe like me.
Yeah.
Possibly me. I don't know. Hey, Khalil. So Khalil is the one who, anytime I have an event, I go to him for a custom dress.
Okay.
Like, it's just... I walk in and he's like, I know what you're going to look good in. So, hey, Khalil over at Valencia Couture Designs. I had to shout him out because on some of my biggest moments as an artist, I've been wearing a dress from Valencia Couture. And anytime I have big, elegant moments, I'm always going to go to Valencia Couture where I'm loved and appreciated. And literally, you walk out looking like something on the red carpet.
That's
like
what's
every
up.
time. So, thank you, Khalil, for that.
Say the business name one more time. Tell the people right here, over here.
Valencia Couture. It's on Instagram. It is Valencia Couture Design. Go and ask for Khalil. Tell him Jasmine, the artist, sent you. And I swear to God, he's going to take care of you. You're not going to have to try on 40 dresses. He's going to say, I know what you look good in.
That's what's up.
And I'm going to pull it for you.
And it's women only?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dress. I mean, if
no.
I mean, if you want to wear a dress,
I'm talking about the work that he does. Is it went for women only, or he also does men stuff?
I mean, he's custom. He has alteration places that he can send you to. But I mean, if you want to wear a dress,
see, why you study talking about that?
We can get you fitted.
You know what? I'm done with you. Go ahead.
You're probably about an 8. He's about an 8.
This girl is silly, man. Shout out to you, man. I was just trying to see if it's men and women work, but no. Shouts out to you for what you're doing. So yeah, as far as the attachment and detachment from the works that you do, let's get back on that.
Yeah, so I'm not attached to my work in any way. I don't know why I'm not attached to my work. Some people are very attached to their work from what I've heard, but once I do work for you, we might connect, we might, become friends, but the work that I've done for you, I don't think about it once I'm done, unless it's something that's just extremely I have a few projects. One of my projects right now is at the Brown Sugar bookstore that's scheduled to
save that. We gonna get there in a minute. Save that.
It's hard.
Nope.
I have some work that I'm connected to that you guys will figure out why in just
a minute. It's not far behind.
I don't get connected to my work. I throw my whole self into these projects.
Right.
But I'm throwing my whole self into 9 other projects at the same time. Yeah. So if I stay too connected to any of my projects, then it's going to hold me back from moving on to the next one because I'm stuck on this. For me, it's you get in there and I need it to impact you long term, not me. Yeah. I need you to love it long term. I need you to be connected to it long term. For me, it's on to the next. I love it. Thank you.
Impact and moving on.
I'm glad that it can be this for you and give your home new life or your business new life, whatever it is. But for me, what's next?
Yeah.
What's next? It's I don't know. And some people work on projects.
You're exploding with visions now. You know, first you didn't even believe in yourself, but now you Oh, I gotta go. Now,
Hey,
now you
listen,
on to the next one.
It's a process.
Shame on you.
It's a process. It's a journey. And when I think any artist, especially any artist on my live or any artist that follows me on Instagram, I think you can scale back and you can see my projects have gotten bigger and bigger and better and better and crazier. I'm exploring different avenues. And I think as an artist, that's how it's supposed to be. You never want to get stuck in a routine of just same old, because then it's like, okay, what else you got?
Right.
You know, we live in a society to where it's always about the next best thing.
Yeah.
Something that can look better. Or can you do it bigger? Can you do it brighter? Like, so you got to just keep going, keep expanding.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And now moving on to what you were really talking about now, the project. Now you have two over there. Which one were you speaking on, inside or outside?
As of last night, I got 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. But which one were you just about to speak on?
So I was speaking on
inside or outside.
So let's go back to the original question about artists doing work. And then once we're done doing work, we are no longer attached to the work. It's just kind of like, that was a great project, but what's next?
Right.
So I do have like 1 or 2 projects that I'm very, very connected with. One of them is over at the Brown Sugar Bookstore in Katy, 5330 Fry Road. They're having their grand opening this Saturday. If you haven't been following me or you haven't been watching the news, this is one of the first Black-owned bookstores in Katy, Texas, that I'm actively working on. This huge mural on the outside of the bookstore, which has only just begun over the summer, and as the year progresses, we're going to be adding to it. But I'm extremely connected to this piece because this is a historical piece. This, what I always say, it's bigger than me.
Absolutely.
Let me flip it because they can't see. This is a piece that I'm currently working on over at the Brown Sugar Bookstore and Cafe that I'm very connected to. This is a piece that not only has brought so many people in the community out to support it, but I have met so many people, older individuals, younger individuals of all races, to be a part of this historical bookstore that is the first Black bookstore in Katy, that even 10 years from now, we're going to be able to take your kids there and say, oh yeah, this is one of the first Black-owned bookstores. So it's a huge thing. It's very big and it's very important to me because you have children who will walk into this bookstore and see books by authors that are Black authors, that see books with little Black children and Black women and men on it. And they said, that looks like me. They see a representation of themselves in areas that most of the time they don't see. They're not able to go pick up all kinds of books and see children with natural hair and curls and coils and things like that. So to be a part of that is just mind-blowing, not only as an artist, but as a human being, as an individual, to be able to have, if I have children one day or my friends' children, they can say, oh, she was a part of this historical landmark, because I do believe it's going to be a historical landmark.
It already is. It already is. And thank you. You did a marvelous transition for me. You know, who we going to shout out to? Our girl, Raven Rose White. Man, listen.
Where is she?
Listen, she's getting some rest probably right now. I called her earlier.
She's at the bookstore.
She was asleep though, actually. You know, I called her and she answered the phone. I was glad she did. Just had a couple of questions. But we want to transition to the space of this KATY mural. It actually has a name. That's what they call it, the KATY mural.
They call it the KATY mural.
I don't know if you're accepting of that, if you had your own name or if that worked for you. But we definitely, let's see. I think this, hopefully this is Raven.
I didn't realize that it was going to be as,
oh no,
I didn't realize it was going to be a thing.
Yeah. And you know, the whole vandalism thing that happened over there, when I heard about it, I was like, they didn't destroy this freaking mural, but they didn't touch it. God surrounded that whole situation and kept them from doing that. Of course, they vandalized it in other ways, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Insane.
But you know, it brought to life even more so this KATY mural. And I want to put it up one more time before we start talking about all the things going over there and the grand opening that we're having this weekend. Man, I could say my son Landon had a part in this. That this is what you was talking about. Everybody, you're going to make it a community event. You're going to let people know when we're going out there. And we want you guys to show up because Raven is like, I don't know if she's like my big sister, my little sister, but she's my sister.
Depends
you know,
on what day
this,
it is.
yeah, really. This queen is doing some amazing work. And everything that Jasmine has already said is what it is. You know, they have coffee and tea bar. They're going to have light, I guess, breakfast items and lunch items. You know, it's a place where you can go and just sit. It's a place where you can go and do research. It's a place where you can go and be on a podcast show, you know, rent out the podcast show. Just go over there and experience the live events that they're going to have. There's a stage in the back of the store where we're going to have live events put on for the city for real, you know, and give educational opportunities for our kids. And I say, what I told her is she's making reading cool again, making books cool again. And this whole space is just amazing. So want to put up this flyer and let you guys know to show up this Saturday from 12 to 4. Go Saturday, and support April the 9th. KATY Bookstore, Brown Sugar Books and Cafe. All the information is up on the screen. We will be out there having an amazing time, helping our sister out. And we want this to be overwhelming for her and for the bookstore. And this is the grand opening. As you can see, the address is 5330 Fry Road in Katy, Texas. And so we'll get back to the story and then we'll talk about it a little bit more before we get off. And then that evening, if you are lucky enough to be in the place, it is the invite only type of deal. And if you make a donation of $250 or more, she told me to let you guys know you are definitely invited. And you can Cash App Raven Rose White. Raven Rose White Cash App. If you want to make any donations toward this grand opening and just to the bookstore in general, then you will also get an invite to the Blackout formal gala, as you can see right now. So you guys get connected, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going over there at the bookstore and all the things that are happening. And then if you can't, I don't want to say if you can't afford it or if you don't feel like you want to do it, but if you're a business or you're an organization or you are someone who wants to be included in some shape, form, or fashion, we're giving away swag bags. And so we have the opportunity for you guys to give a business card, to give pins, to give the rubber wristbands, whatever that you want to use in regards to making your business a part of these swag bags is only $25, man. Hit me up, hit up Raven, and we'll get you guys connected. I'll even pick up the stuff if I need to. For only $25, you can be part of the whole swag bag situation that they got going on. But back to you, ma'am. Let's talk about this KATY mural and let's talk about the amazing piece of work that you have inside the store.
You guys just got to come see it. I'm not telling anybody anything. Only thing I want you to know is that I have a lot of art within the walls of the KATY bookstore.
Yes. So let's talk about your connection with it again. Let's go into more detail, you know, and how much it meant for you to. I'm firsthand seeing this. That's the crazy part about it. Seeing how they connect and, you know, it's coming down to the wire. And like I said, you've been working on this for a long time before I could get over there. And then to get there, we saw you doing the mural, you know, that's been a little while. And then when the bookstore got completed, you went inside and you knocked out. You can tell them about the size. Let's at least give them a little something, you know, the size of this wall or, you know.
It's bigger than me. It's
everything you do is bigger than you, man.
It's huge. Like I can't really put it in words, you guys. Like I just can't. I can talk about it all day long, but you just got to see it. You just got to go be a part of
Another reason to get out there.
I would love to see a lot of you guys, and then especially for my followers and my friends and my family who have children. This is something that you want your children to be a part of. When we did the block party at the KATY mural, I had all the kids come out and paint with me because I wanted them to be able to say, I painted that. I want 6 years from now, when they say, oh, I remember when I was 6, I painted this bookstore. It's going to keep them coming back because children love being a part of things and they grow a love for the things that they do and they can be a part of it. So I really wanted those children to be a part of not only what I was doing, but what Raven was doing and what we're doing in KATY, because the kids, like, they were so excited. And you know, y'all know how kids lie. They're not going to come and say, I painted that flower. They're going to say, I painted that whole wall. Yeah. And if that's what gets them excited about coming in and reading and wanting to educate themselves and being part of literacy that we've gotten so far away from, then so be it. So again, I just want you guys to come out to the Brown Sugar Bookstore. It's in KATY. It's April 9th, this Saturday.
Yes.
I want you guys to just come out and just be in the space. It's not about me. Yes, I have work. I have some cute work in there too, guys. Like, there's a lot of art in there, by other artists, but I did the children's section. And I want you guys to see how cute it is. Oh my God, the children's section is so cute. But
yes.
I can't. You just got to come
She wants y'all to come see it. And it gives you a reason to come.
Come see it.
And this is where I was leading to, right? So I have this blackout wall that I did, right? And but no, it's just me helping out and doing the things that needed to be done to make this situation happen and get ready. And just painting this wall black gave me a new appreciation for all the details that you did over there. It's like, man, like that is crazy. Like all I did was paint on one color and you got all this stuff going on. I mean, y'all think, not to take nothing away from this, because this is amazing and specific for this space, and the work you did over there specific for that space, it's much greater detail. You know, where do you get this from?
It's all in all in my mind. It's like it's all in my mind.
It's just a gift.
It's just a gift. It's all in my mind. I can't. It doesn't come from a specific place. It just comes from within. Like it's in my mind. I don't know. Like when I walk into a space, I can like feel it.
Right.
Like this is what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah.
Or this is what I'd like to do here. This is what's gonna make this work. Like.
Don't be laughing. Y'all, if y'all only knew what we were looking at. So here she come.
Come on.
You gonna bring her in?
Okay.
There she is.
Sorry, guys. we have our little friend
so
here.
The Black Store has acquired a new identity over here at the store. We're gonna see if she comes to the shot. But she's just been crawling around and trying to get in, and Jasmine has welcomed her. I seen you open up the space, she ain't take it. And here she goes.
I'm sorry, guys.
But no, so I mean, we have talked about all the things that you've been doing, and the main thing is a lot of people want to know, like, dang man, I probably can't afford her. You know, I probably can't do this and do that. You know, what do you tell people in regards to the fear of not even wanting to ask you because it may be too expensive? You know, if that's a proper thing to talk about.
I think that we all want things in life. And when we really want things in life, we have to save for it. So the best way to know if you can afford something or how you can afford something is to ask, hey, how much will this cost? How much will it cost me to get work done by you in this particular space? I give people a very transparent estimate, and it's okay if it's not for you right now. At least you know what to save for, and you have an idea of how much this type of work costs, because it's not a very known thing. This is new. Yeah. I don't see a lot of artists doing huge interior work. So this is something that you have to introduce people to, and you have to educate people, because a lot of people say, hey, I don't even know where this stuff starts at. Like, so I feel like I've kind of created this lane that, not going to say that nobody else has done it, but for me in my city and in where the people who I'm connected with, they're not used to seeing this. Very rare. And when they see it, it's usually on these huge platforms and design pages, and they think that, oh, that's not attainable. So I feel like I'm making luxury arts and luxury interior design attainable to individuals who might not be used to seeing it or having access to it.
Yeah. That's another reason. And that was something else I was going to ask too. And you just gave one great example. But outside of everybody already they don't even know the answer. But again, this is for the purpose of doing a podcast, and we never know who's going to see it later. Why should people come? Why should people call? Why should people want you in their homes, their business? And then in doing so, you know, you do the oversized canvas art, you know, talk about what you do. But why Janelle? Why should somebody come to you?
Why not?
Act right and tell these people what you.
Why not come to me? I'm awesome. I'm freaking amazing. I'm dope in real life.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
and silly in real life.
I'm really this way in real life, and I'm actually holding it together for the sake of this podcast, because I had to be like professional. Y'all see I'm dressed all nice today, like a nice adult mature woman, but normally I'm dressed like a toddler at recess, full of paint.
Right.
So, you know, I feel like when you book me, you book the experience that comes with me. I have so many clients that have turned friends through me coming into their home and painting, I've become friends with them, their children. I'm like a part of the family. They cook for me. Oh my God, this is why I can't lose weight, because most of you guys, when you book me, you cook for me.
You cook for
and
yeah.
I have a problem with saying no, because I come from a very down home Louisiana family to where when you turn down,
say no.
When you turn down somebody's cooking, you're kind of being disrespectful.
Yeah.
So I eat. Yeah. I eat at your house. I do.
And then, you know, I was joking with you the other day. We were at the bookstore, and she works late. She's a night owl. So,
Super
you know,
night owl.
Hey, but, you know, we were in the bookstore, and, you know, shouts out to Raven for even wanting this to happen and supporting what you're doing. You made a live, and you were telling people what you're looking forward to. And I was making fun of you because you was like, I'm trying to get flued out. I'm trying to get flued out. So talk about the fact that you are willing to travel, and you know, if people are in another space in the world, what does that look like for them? What is the ramifications around that?
I get bored really easy. Okay. So obviously I've been doing work all over Houston and around and outside of Houston for a little while now. And I'm like, I think I want to kick it up a notch. I think people in other states deserve me, because again, I keep hearing, I don't see a lot of people doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And not only do I not see a lot of people doing it, but I don't see a lot of people that I would like to work with that's doing what you're doing. And that goes a lot of different ways. And I'm like, well, I guess, like, you know, I guess that's cool. And again, that came with a whole new level of confidence. Like, I had to be confident enough to say, do I really think that I'm good enough to travel and do work in these people's homes? You know, because that comes with a bigger price. It's more expensive for me to come from out of town and do work. So I had to make sure that I was giving what I said I was giving, and I had to tighten up on some areas as an artist. And as a business owner, because I was an artist before I was a business owner. I've always been an artist, but I'm learning to be a better business owner, but as an artist, because it's not the same as your basic, I opened a store, or being a business owner as an artist is very, very, very difficult, because you have to be on the front line of a lot of things, and it's not easy to delegate the work without making it less personable. But I wanted to travel, so I've been telling people, like, for the last 2 or 3 months, like, I'm gonna start traveling, and I want to start doing work in different cities and different states. And this is another thing too. Like 5 years ago, I was in a relationship, right, with this guy, and this is when I was coming into myself and having these aha moments. And I still have the text message till this day. It's printed out at my shop, and I told him, this is who I am. I'm a creator. God created me to create, and I'm going to create. I'm going to do these huge, big ass paintings, and people are going to pay me good money. And this is going to be my thing. I feel like God is calling me to do this. I'm going to have work all over the US and maybe even the world. And his response was like, yeah, okay. Put it on a resume. And my heart was just broken.
Crushed.
And boy, was he wrong.
Is that your motivation now?
That's my motivation.
That's what's up. They say the best revenge is the upgrade, right?
It's the upgrade.
You know, that's sorry for you, bro. Whoever he may be. You know, but you actually played your part. You encouraged this young lady to do what she needed to do. So I'm glad you held on to that, and you are moving in the spaces that you need to move to. So she's you know, her thing is, yes, I'm willing to travel. You know, so that's her thing. If
Anywhere.
You guys know of someone, or know of somebody who might want her services, she is definitely willing to travel, and she will make those accommodations and make it work. You know, what advice would you give to the up and coming artists? You've given a lot, but on the top of your head right now, to someone who's like you, who doesn't think they're enough, or doesn't think that they can do the things that they have in their head, and they're just doubting themselves, what would you say to the Jasmine of 4 or 5 years ago? Now that you know what you know, because we only know what we know.
I hate to sound so general, but I would say keep going. As soon as you're Derwin, who is the owner, CEO, founder of DSD Paintings, he does epoxy work, does a lot of celebrity homes. I actually took a class with him, and I actually kind of started looking to him as a mentor. And I feel like once I took that class, I really elevated as a business owner, because he got my mind right. And once my mind got right, there was nothing that wasn't attainable for me. And he posted yesterday and he said, you ready to, if you thinking about giving up, don't. He was like, you know, your breakthrough is probably right around the corner and you about to miss it because you know, you ready to give up. Like, stick to it. Like, he has this motto, he says, like, I sold my bed. And a lot of times when people say, well, what does that mean? It's like, it's the idea of sleeping on yourself, not believing in yourself, not believing that you can attain these things. And you got to wake up. You got to wake up and realize that nobody's going to do this for you. Nobody's going to hustle for you. Nobody's going to market for you. Nobody's going to get out there and motivate you every single day. Nobody's going to wake up every day and tell you that you're great and that you're amazing. Nobody's going to wake up every single day and say, you need to tighten up on this and that. Now, some of these things, yeah, maybe, but for the most part, it starts with you. Yeah. I know a lot of great artists that message me and things like that, but you're not consistent. And that's a very transparent thing. I didn't get to this point by being the best artist in Houston. I know some artists on my page that I look at their work and I'm like, oh my God, like, it's amazing. I got a lot of work to do. But there's a lot of great artists who just aren't consistent. Because
they do a piece and then they sit back and look at it. Did you say that?
It's a hobby for them.
Yeah.
It's a hobby. They paint, they might work on one piece for 3 months and just walk away from it, come back, walk away. It doesn't mean that they're not passionate about it, but a lot of these individuals aren't consistent. They don't feel like this is what they've been called to do full time for the rest of their life. This is not their purpose. It's just something that they do exceptionally well, and they do it when they feel like it. Yeah. And I tell people, and they always say, well, you need to hold a class about, you know, being an artist. And I personally don't feel like I'm in a position to teach you how to be a successful artist, because I understand and I recognize that success looks different for everyone. My level of success might not be someone else's level of success, as well as I don't know if this is what you're called to do. So I can't give you my blueprint and tell you, well, pay me this money and I'm gonna give you my blueprint and then you're gonna become successful. That might not be what you're called to do. Yeah. So that is, you have to do some soul searching before you get to this point. There's no class on earth that you're gonna take that's gonna be guaranteed that you're gonna be as successful or more successful. If it's for you, it's going to happen with or without the class. Now, you can take a class to just get insight and knowledge on small things and how to catapult yourself into the business, but the rest of it depends on you. Yeah. My story is my story. My testimony is my testimony. I can't duplicate that for you and tell you got to go through all the same things to be successful. You got to figure out your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you think this is for you? Have you prayed about it? Or whoever you pray to, or have you meditated on it? Like, there's more about this than just a 1, 2, 3 cookie cutter blueprint. But what I can say is, if you feel compelled to do this and be this, or whatever you feel compelled to be in anything outside of just an artist, first and foremost, you need to write down a game plan. You need to identify your strengths and your weaknesses, and then focus on your weaknesses. Your weaknesses need to become your strength. You need to stop making excuses. I was running on 2 and 3 hours of sleep, working an 18-hour shift, and then painting for 9 hours a day for almost 6 months. I didn't make excuses. I didn't have anywhere to create, but guess what? I found a little back room to create. It wasn't, oh, it's too small for me. I made that shit work. Period. Like, I never made any excuses. I remember, this is the craziest truth. One time I had $500 in my account. That's all I had left to my name, because mind you, I had just left my job. I wasn't getting unemployment, and I was still waiting on God. And I was like, "Ooh, child, it's getting tough around here." And I told myself, spend $400 on materials and flip that. Craziest idea I ever came up with in my life. But guess what?
You believe it worked.
I ain't stopped flipping yet.
Yeah, it worked.
Took $400.
Reinvesting is something you strongly believe in.
$400
out of the 5. That was it.
And you know how I got $500? I was trading Forex. And I remember like telling myself like, oh my God, this is not enough. This is not enough. And I think I end up like catching a really good trade like 2 or 3 times and paid all my bills. And I had $500 left. And I was like, oh my God. And I was on these calls, like when you with Forex, if you know about Forex, they have this like these morning motivation calls to where it's like, it's all about your mentality, cultivating your mentality, making you really go harder. And you can apply that in so many different areas of your life. And I remember, I think I was on a call with Morgan. Her name is Honey Morgan on Instagram. And she was talking about, you know, basically like, ain't nobody gonna get up and do it for you. Like, what are you doing with your life? You You walk around and you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do this, but you ain't got no hustle. You don't have no confidence. Like you watching everybody else's life, but you can be doing this too. And I remember like, yeah, I was amped up. I was so amped up and went and spent $400 on canvases and paint, and I put my heart and soul into those canvases. And basically made more than quadruple.
Wow.
On those canvases than what I invested in it. So I invested $400 and made almost $2,000.
That's what's up.
And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm on to something.
Yeah.
I think I got a strategy.
Yeah.
And I kept doing it. And literally, I've never stopped doing that today. I reinvest over 50% of what I make back into my business. So again, guys, this is not just about the art. It's about so much more. It starts with your mentality. It starts with your drive. It starts with your consistency. It starts with a lot of things. Even if you don't have confidence, if you have some consistency, you can really still make this work.
That's what's up, man. So she always make jokes about all the jobs she has. I didn't know you was a preacher. I didn't know that. That's what's up.
This
Can
is
I get
Jasmine,
an amen?
Janelle, and welcome to my TED Talk.
Absolutely. No, that is what's up, man. It's inspiring, and the story is amazing. And don't give up. Don't doubt yourself. And everything that you just said for these up and coming artists, man. If you guys just believe in that, do that, find your why. That's a huge part of it for me, finding your why and what really motivates you to keep going.
And don't let money be your why.
Absolutely.
A lot of you guys message me about, I don't know how to price my work. I want to make more money. I'm going to tell you right now, if that's your only motivation, you're not going to be successful. And that's 100% guaranteed. Yeah. Because when times get hard and the order's not coming in and you get stressed out, if it's just about the money is not going to, the idea of money is not going to be enough to push you through those tough moments, those rough experiences, I had to scrap a whole project and I invested $800 in that material. Money is not going to get you through those moments when you start losing money. You got to be able to have some passion and some drive. I have seen artists that just literally take a cup and throw it at a canvas and they making $30,000, $40,000 on this stuff. But guess what? They're consistent. They're marketing. They understand demand. They understand how people think. It's more than just, but I'm a really good artist.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of people who will live and be really good artists. I'm glad you said that and die good artists and still won't be successful because they were never consistent.
Yeah. And that was another thing, I'm glad you brought that back up, because if you want to see what consistency looks like, just go to this page that I'm putting back up on the screen, and that will be an example of what consistency looks like. So go to Instagram right now, follow this young lady, look at, and you'll see everything right there in front of you. All of the things that she's talking about, the creativity with the posting, the continuous posting, the constant posting. And that was another conversation we had. It was like, who's doing all this for you? She's like, me. Like, how you got time, but
time.
You don't make excuses and you do what you got to do. And you'll realize when you really hone in and you focus on it, you'll realize that a lot of the reasons why you're not doing things is because you're making excuses. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And so just look at what other people are doing, look at what you're doing, and just figure out how you can reorganize and just do a little bit more to be more impactful.
I want to ask a question for you before. I have followers on here that always ask me so many questions. Okay. So if you're on my Instagram live and you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the comment box and I'm going to answer them. And ask me any questions. This is now the time you have my attention, that I'm not painting, I'm sitting still, and I'll answer any of your questions.
Y'all
I
want
to make sure that I'm engaging and connecting with you guys as well. He's going to interrogate me. That's what we're here for. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask me questions as well about anything you have questions about, and I'm going to answer them. Absolutely. Today's the day.
Absolutely. And y'all can thank the Reach Podcast Show for sitting her down long enough to make this happen, because y'all understand she over here, she's still antsy and stuff because she just can't sit still.
They didn't bring no snacks. They didn't bring me any snacks.
But listen, so classes, I know you just talked about that, right? But are you looking to offer anything, whether it be painting, what do you call it? The painting with a twist stuff? Do you do that? Do you look to do that? Or
I do it, but I don't find joy in
doing it.
It's not I don't feel like it's very
not your space.
It's not my lane.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's one of the things I tell people, you can do a lot.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize, is this my thing or is this not my thing?
Yeah.
I'm a full-time interior artist. I work 6 to 7 days a week. I have a very high demand right now. I don't really have the time to set aside to do a lot of smaller projects. And that's okay. I recognize that my focus is shifting. Now, up front, I had a lot of time to do a lot of extra stuff because I was finding my way. I know some individuals who are like, hey, I don't like doing commission work. I only like doing classes and teaching. That's my thing. And hosting, I don't mind doing it, especially when I'm asked by, someone that I know or that I have a good rapport with. But for the most part, I'm not going to be personally offering painting with the twist class or things like that. Again, I think when you are hiring individuals for those classes, you need to hire artists that have the time and they have that desire to do them. I feel like for me right now, my price is really high for painting classes. I'm gonna just be honest with you, primarily because I have to take so much time out of my schedule to prepare for that. It's kind of like it has to even out. So
God is getting her back. If you just now tuning in, God is getting her back because she put all this high demand on God, and now He like, okay, let's dump all this on you. Let me see if you keep up. That's the way I'm receiving it. No, ain't no time out. You said it, you wanted it. But no, you are definitely taking the whole idea of what you asked for and you're making it work. So I can definitely appreciate that. And just congratulations to you, man. You have come a long way, and in such a short time. That's another thing. A lot of people are like, man, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? Again, your story may not be everybody's story as it relates to the time and how soon, because I feel like 3 years, that's a long time, but at the same time, for painting and this demand that you have gotten, I don't feel like that's no time at all. So you guys just stay consistent, and be aware of everything that you're doing. Go back and watch this again if you need to, and just pick up on all the nuggets, because you really were preaching today. You really gave some good information. 2 things I have left, and then we're going to talk about brown sugar again. We want you guys there on Saturday. Favorite piece. First thing that comes to mind, I know that might be unfair to a lot of people, but just off the top of your head, what do you think about? I know the Black Store, because this is where the show had to be. So this piece means a lot. So beyond this piece, beyond brown sugar, what is something that just pops in your head that's like, man, I remember that piece? It's too many, right?
I don't have a favorite piece.
See, that's how she said it the last time. Yeah.
I don't have.
That's how we got into that conversation about you detaching.
Anything. I think they all have come with experiences, learning experiences. I have some work that I've done that I've looked at it, and to this day I go back and look at pictures and be like, there's no way in hell I did that.
Wow.
Like, to this day, and people see me on the internet, and you guys see me on Instagram, and I look all confident and stuff, but a lot of times I'm not. I don't know why. I don't know why I still question myself as an artist. I don't know why I still question my skill set. I don't know why sometimes I go lower on my prices, and it has to do with confidence. Like, this is new for me. I'm not used to being praised for my work. I'm not used to being praised for really a lot of anything. So to, in a short 3 years, go from just being a normal individual that didn't even want to be seen in public to people calling me from all over the US to come and fly and do work for them in cities and states that I've never flown to. Like, that's flattering, but it's confusing all at the same time. Like, y'all really like me? Like, these people really like my work. And I'm trying to get to the point where I can accept, like, yeah, they like my work because I'm XYZ. It's like, why you like my work? I mean, I guess why not? But at the same time, there are other great artists too. What makes me so special? So I'm still trying to come into that. I'm very humble. I'm very modest. So I don't know. It's just like when I hear people talk about my work, it's almost like they're speaking Greek. And I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I know it's good, but girl, you're exaggerating. Man, they really, they really enjoy it. So I love all my work. Every time I do a project, it allows me to accept myself a little bit more. And I think I'm getting to the point where I really know who I am as an artist, but I'm definitely not. So I'm not totally there yet.
And let's close out with what do you do? What are you, where, you know, you do the oversized canvas work, you do the, what are those items that you have been focused on and the things that you do? Let people know what they can really call you for.
I do custom accent abstract walls, or what we call luxury accent walls. Luxury accent walls mean like I'm not gonna do stripes. I'm not gonna paint the wall a solid color. I'm not gonna do dots. You know, like that's not my thing. I am a luxury interior artist. Again, I do abstract walls, accent walls. I do canvas art. I do some furniture. I'm not really promoting furniture too much right now because it's just so time consuming. I'm only taking furniture for my high end clients. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But that's what I do. I'm focused on my oversized canvas art and my oversized accent walls and some portraits if I can find the time to sit down and do that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, this is Miss Jasmine. Janelle, do you have any final words for everybody? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What are your final words before we close out and allow you to go do your amazing work that you've been doing?
May is almost booked. June is 50% booked. And
That's
now we're
what's up.
booking for July. Get on my books. And I will say this, if you're on my live right now, when you book with me, you're going to receive $300 off of your service.
Tell them over here.
If you are on my live right now, when you book with me in the next however many days, now I'm not saying 6 months from now, and when you book with me, I'm just going to put a time limit on it. You have 2 weeks to book with me, and you'd have to submit your deposit, but you'll receive $300 off of your project.
That final deal.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
And you have to use code. You have to tell me I was on the podcast.
The Reach
I was
podcast
on the
show.
podcast. I was on the podcast live. And you book with me, you're going to receive $300 off of your service.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. And you can screen record this so you know that you can't go back on my word. $300 off. $300 off.
Talking to everybody.
Have I told all
You've
of the
told
screens?
every
Like 5
stream.
screens.
Absolutely.
$300 off. $300 off. You get a wall. You get a wall. You get a wall. You get a wall.
Absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate you taking the time out, being part of this show. And my cousin is right there on the screen. So it's another one. This is Honey Beyond Studio. So I know you're going to have fun over there. I can't wait to see it. She says she's booking because we're going to call you as soon as we get off the air because you have obviously been watching this whole show. So appreciate you. But, you know, everybody book, you know, and then the code is the Reach Podcast Show. And I'm going to throw in, go ahead and go and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, too. So that way you can get your $300 discount. And thank you for allowing the show to be the platform for that. So you guys know what Jasmine is about. You know, the work she does, you know how much she has put into it. And she has given you guys some jewels of information. So just take heed to it. If you are an artist and you're in the same lane, just focus on some of the things she's saying. And, you know, you can definitely make the type of impact that you need to make. So we're going to rewind and we're going to, again, shout out to our sister over at Brown Sugar Cafe and Books. We want you guys to be there this Saturday. It is the grand opening. This is the actual sign that you will see when you pull up. And then you will also see on the side of the building, the KATY mural. And you can say, oh, that is what she was talking about. It is the Brown Sugar Cafe and Books. Miss Raven White, she is the owner along with her children. It is an amazing space. Again, the grand opening is this Saturday, April 9th, 12 to 4. And we want you guys to be there, be part of it, and just come experience everything that's going on over there. This sister has really put in the work. And then the flyer is right here on the screen now. We want to see you guys there. Seek me out, the Reach Podcast Show. LeVar, I'll be having 1,000 jobs going on, just like Jasmine will be doing 1,000 things over there. And then if you guys want to be part of the Blackout Formal Gala, we do have a night event going on. That night is all Black Formal Gala. We want you to come at your best, Black excellence, look good, feel good, and be in a great, great, great space, man. And I had to go ahead and put this picture up, so I hope Raven don't kill me, man. This is part of the photo shoot. Shout out to my man, Darren. She didn't even realize he was my boy since day one. I can't wait to see those photos when they come out. But shouts out to my man, Darren Clifton. for putting on and doing the wonderful things that he does as a photographer. Shout out to you, Raven. And we will be over there. We can't wait to see you guys. And lastly, if you're a business or you know of a business and you want to be connected with the Katy community, for a minimum of just $25, you can put your items, whether it be a pen, whether it be a business card, a flyer, whatever the case may be, whatever you want us to put in those swag bags. You can be part of the swag bag giveaway that'll be going on that day. And you can also have the opportunity to let your business be expanded by way of these swag bags to our guests over at the KATY bookstore. So tap in right now. Grand opening April 9th. 12 to 4. And then, you know, hey, if you want to commit to coming out in the evening and get a special invite, just follow all the things that we've been talking about thus far, and you can. Lastly, everybody knows that I am also a co-host of the Mind Matters podcast show, and mental health is at the forefront of everything that we do. So I want you guys to tune in this evening to the Mind Matters podcast show. We go live in the same spaces from 6:30 to about 8:30, just depending on how everything is going. And we want you guys to tune in and tap in to that show as we talk about the effects of medicine and how it can help, may not help, just all the different opinions. And this is our season finale show. So we'd love for you guys to tune into that show this evening. And until then, this has been the Reach Podcast Show, where we are telling stories of the community and all the people that are driving those stories, such as our wonderful guest today, Ms. Jasmine Janelle. So we'll see you guys next week, and we'll have another amazing guest. We'll be telling that story as well. So tell everybody bye, Jasmine. We appreciate you. All right. Hey, guys, you guys have a good time. And then, like I said, cuz we're going to be hollering at you in just a minute. Shouts out to my boy, Nick, man. Everybody on Instagram, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Blessings to you too, bro.